recipes from my new book, Homemade Simple. Da, 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 da. It's so crazy, you guys. It's so sunny in here. Oops, I just moved the table. That I'm going to show a new camera angle, but I'm trying to block all the sun, and it's like it looks like I'm in heaven. So we are going to be making the chicken coconut curry soup, which I made in a wellness workshop the other night, and you guys are going to laugh when you hear what I did this time. Last time I ran out of coconut milk. This time I thought I had more red curry paste. I have green curry paste. Guess what? We're going to make it anyhow. I don't have red bell peppers, but I've got carrots and onions. I can even add some celery. So this is really going to be about improvising and making something your own. When I forgot the coconut milk, it was so delicious without it. I just kept eating it that way. I went and bought coconut milk, but I was like, I love this version of this soup. So I really want to empower you all as you learn these cooking techniques to take things out that you don't like and to add things that you do. It's totally okay to do that, all right? And then we're going to be making the black bean chili. And I call it that because a play on words, obviously. You can make anything. You can almost turn anything into a chili, right? It's almost like a thick stew that typically has beans, sometimes starchy potatoes, some meat. But this was meant to be a vegetarian black bean chili. And then I also pureed half of it with a stick blender to make it creamier. So you can cook these and use them like whole black beans in other recipes, which I love. But you can also turn it into a soup or a chili by pureeing some of it or just reducing down the liquid in it a lot to get it to the consistency of your choosing, okay? I'm throwing a party tomorrow for my son and a ton of friends for his 18th birthday. It'll be the last one. They're seniors in high school. And they're going to watch football, and I'm making a bunch of wings, but I'm also going to use this soup to serve it. And I'll probably do two things. I'll puree half of it to make it like a chili, a chunky black bean chili, but then I will also use, I'll strain some of the beans out and do a dip of some sort for them. So I'm super excited about that, okay? Now I want to do something different with you all today because I'm always working on camera angles and I know it's not always my strong suit, but I just want to cook this recipe for the chicken coconut red curry soup directly. I want to give you a shot directly of the pan so you all can see how simple this recipe really is. I've already started the black beans and I'll tell you what I've done with that so far so you understand at the end of class when I taste it and I talk about where we are in the process. You get some good feedback and some notes for that too. But for the black beans, I like to soak them first. It speeds up the cooking process considerably. So a lot of people just soak their dried beans in water overnight, and then you drain that water, and then you put them in a pot, add cold water, and you start to cook them from there. I do kind of like a quick hydration where I put them in a pot of water. I cover them with cold water, bring it to a boil, turn it off, and put the lid on and let them sit in that water for an hour. I then drain the water and start the process. A lot of people, and I'm thinking specifically of the company Rancho Gordo beans. They sell the most beautiful, delicious beans on earth. They like to keep the water, the same water. They don't drain that water before they start cooking. The argument to that is they say the pro is that you get tons more flavor. The con is that a lot of the gas, whatever causes gas in your stomach stays in that water. Up to you, okay? So I rinsed and drained my beans and then I put them in cold water. I boiled them, turned it off, covered it with a lid, let them sit for an hour. I drained that water and then I started my recipe. So in this blue stock pot, you'll see back here, I sauteed some garlic, some onion. I didn't have a jalapeno, so I didn't use it. I used the spices that the recipe calls for, which are oregano. I used a little chipotle chili powder instead of a dried chipotle. I also used chili powder, and I'm forgetting something. Garlic, onion. I'll go to the recipe and make sure I got it right. And I sauteed those things down until they were soft. And then I put the beans back in and I added some of my homemade chicken stock instead of just water. And I think it makes a world of difference in the flavor. I talk about it constantly. You do not have to do that. You can use water. Excuse me. And I also added the freshly squeezed lime juice. Okay. So they are simmering with the lid askew just a little bit. and they go for, the recipe says an hour and a half. I made these beans last week, and you just realize that depending on how long those beans have been sitting on a shelf, the cook time may vary considerably. It could be hours until they're soft to the bite, right? I don't mind if they have the tiniest bit of like al dente, but you don't want to eat hard beans. And so that's the scoop here. I'm letting them go, and I'm just checking. Ooh, that's hot. I'm checking to make sure that the liquid stays over the beans, right? We want them always submerged in enough liquid to be cooking. Sound good? Okay, so I'm going to move the camera up to where you can see this pot well, and you can see my hands move right here on this cutting board, because I'm going to prep the onion and the carrot for you right here. I'm going to peel and cut those, and they're going to go right into the pan along with the garlic and the ginger. And then I have green curry paste instead of red curry paste. I have the chicken stock, coconut milk. One thing I want to show you right now about the coconut milk is that I like using light coconut milk when I cook because it has less fat and it's more homogeneous, right? They were sold out of coconut milk at the store. They've been sold out like crazy, so I don't know what the deal is. Everywhere I look, they've been low on coconut milk. But I want to show you this because how much does it call for? A 1 15-ounce can of coconut milk. And I call for the regular in this recipe, but you can use either. I opened it upside down because with the regular coconut milk, all of the fat comes to the top and it solidifies, right? It's that big, thick piece. So if you're ever not using the whole can, you have to kind of like dig through that, and then it's more like water on the bottom, like coconut water, right? And then it gets thicker and thicker and thicker. I just wanted to show you all what that looks like. Can you see that? So it's clear almost, and then you go down and it starts to get thicker. So I'm going to add it upside down just so you guys can see what that's like, okay? So let's get cooking. If you have questions, I know Deb is here. I see some other people are joining us as well. If you want to ask me questions in the question box, I'm happy to answer them. I'm going to keep the camera on the pot the whole time that I prepare this recipe so you guys can really focus on my technique. The one thing I need is to stabilize my cutting board, and I don't have any paper towels, so I'm actually going to dampen the cloth and just put it underneath like I do. And then let me move the camera up right now, okay? Let's just get this where we want it. So, hello. Okay, there we go, right? I'm going to move it back a little bit more so you guys can see my cutting board as well. There we go. I don't want you to have to stare at the shelf. That's my kitchen shelf right there. Okay, so let me put this right underneath this board so we can stabilize it, right? It's super important. It's not perfect, but it's much better than nothing. And then I'm going to get myself another hand towel. And then we'll get cooking. Also, I'll be checking the comments. So if you have any questions as I'm going, please don't hesitate to ask me. Okay. And we'll get started. So the first thing I want to do, I'll heat my pot and I'll peel my carrots and chop my onion while I do that. Let me just have a little sip of my drink. Okay, I'm going to get that out of the way too because I don't want to be spilling on myself. I'm klutzy when I move quickly. And I love to move quickly, friends. I've got all my ingredients over here, so I'm going to pull from this side. And I'm going to do a little celery because we can. I'll do carrots and onion, garlic, ginger, and then I just want to have my curry paste over here as well. Okay, which is right here. So like I said, I'm out of the red curry paste. I'm going with green. And I don't have red pepper, but that's fine. There we go. Get that taken care of. And then I've got my coconut milk ready to go. I'm going to get my fish sauce over here. I have my lime juice. And then I have spinach, and I want to show you how much spinach I use today. There's going to be a lot. I think I call for 4 cups. Let's see. I call for no, that's the chicken stock. Cooked chicken, baby spinach. Yeah, 4 cups. I'm going to use more than 4 cups here. And then I call for 4 cups chicken stock and a tablespoon of fish sauce, a 1 ounce can of coconut milk. I'm going to use more chicken stock than that because I want to stretch this out a little bit. And it calls for 2 cups of cooked chicken. I've got that much for sure. Okay. So all the ingredients I need right away are over close to me now. And the chicken stock is right here. Look at how thick that is, you guys. It's like liquid gold I made last night. So let's get started. Good. Okay, here we go. I'm going to turn this on a very low heat and put some oil in the pan. And as I start to chop, I'm just going to start to add my aromatics directly to the pan. I just ran out of avocado oil and I'm about to run out of olive oil. No sweat. I'm going to replenish them as soon as I'm done here. Okay, how's my knife? Great. Let's just give these a quick peel. And I'll chop them and I'll get them in the pan while I cut my onion. And then as long as you've got something in the pan to push around, I'm going to have this on really low heat. We'll be in good shape. Okay, good. You guys can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to cut those little ends off. Sometimes I don't peel my carrots. I just scrub them well. I don't mind. And you'll also see that I'm not working or worrying about like the perfect chop on all of this. I am just trying to get fairly equally diced veggies in the pan. You know, sometimes you have to choose between your pace and perfection. And today, pace is important for me because I want to show you guys how quickly it can come together when you don't have a lot of time. Just put that first little batch in. And then I'm going to just cut right through these. And we'll put them all in. Oh, good, my head is not in the shot. There's nothing more frustrating than someone's head cutting off your entire shot, right? Can you guys see how I'm always keeping the tip of my knife on the board, right? I'm not lifting it much. And I have this on a very low heat. I'm not wanting anything to burn while I chop my other vegetables. Let's put some celery in too because I can, and it will taste delicious. Again, I don't have any red bell pepper today, that's fine. It's going to be delicious with this. You can substitute any crunchy veg here that you like. Making like the little holy trinity here, aren't I? Just add my onion. Okay, my onion. I've got yellow onion instead of red. I even thought about that last night when I was buying some ingredients. I was like, you know what? It calls for red, I think. Does it call for red onion? Let's see. Yep, but that's okay. Yellow onion is delicious and sweet as well. Can you see that piece? I'm going to cut that off. Remove the skins here. I'm going to mess around with how I cut this. Normally I dice it. I'm going to cut it across the top in a different direction and get these cute little half mins. Let me show you. I'm going to cut straight down with the lines of the onion. If you go this way, they're going to fall into thinner slices. These are going to be more consistent in size. Just to mess around and show you guys. See what these look like? It makes it harder because they're not going to be as easy to eat in a single bite. But sometimes I like to visually vary the ingredients in my food a lot. So that's all I'm doing right now, is giving some variation to the shape of my ingredients. I'm going slower because I can hear how loud this is with my knife hitting this board. Okay, there we go. Good enough. Okay, now I'm going to do some garlic and ginger while these cook down. I'm going to do a pinch of salt as well. Let's see, this is my favorite spatula to use. It's made by Little Deer, and it's a left-handed spatula. So when you stir in the pot, it works for a lefty. Now, it could, of course, work for a right-hand person as well, but it makes it more awkward. The world was really designed for right-handed people, so I love that they make these because I am a lefty. I know I have my salt. Here we go. I love my new salt bin from No Kid Hungry. By the way, I'll be doing a free class this Thursday night to raise money for No Kid Hungry. I'm thrilled about that. Gorgeous. Okay. And what do I always say about if you're cooking and these start to get too brown or you get any dark spots in the pan, you can always just add a splash of water, okay? I'm already dropping garlic cloves on the floor, or garlic peels. Clean up my surface. And see, another celery just fell. I'll sweep afterwards. Okay, let me chop up some garlic. I love doing this myself. You can certainly buy it already chopped, but I just find this so satisfying. I just press down with my knife to get the cloves out. That one I need to do a little bit better. It just breaks the skin. There are millions of tools for this as well, to crush your garlic for you, to get the peel off. I don't know, I just like it. Very satisfying for me. Clearly I'm going heavy on the garlic today. So good for us. Garlic is sticky, so I like to wipe my hands before I do always saute my veggies, Dad. I like to cook them down to soften them up, because if you put them in the stock and they're not soft, they're always it's gonna take a lot longer to have them soften up. And I think you get the most flavor out of it when you do it this way. You're giving them a chance to caramelize without the liquid in the pan. Really brings out the best in the vegetables. There we go. I'm not worrying about how finely I chop this today because it's going to soften up. I'm going to put some salt on my garlic though. You guys know how I like to do that because it acts as an abrasive and it makes it easier to cut. Garlic can burn really easily in a pan, but when it's in there with other ingredients, it's a lot less likely to burn. It's just the garlic. Fun, right? And now we've got ginger to do. It's a little bit more garlic I can put in. We'll peel the ginger. And now I know a lot of you were saying in the wellness workshop that you like to eat the fiber in the ginger. I'm not against it. In fact, I think I'll try it. This soup is for me. So if it's nothing great, it's okay. Or if I don't like it, I won't do it next time. Okay, let's continue to let those soften a bit. How are my black beans doing? This time I won't forget to use the towel. Oh, the garlic smells amazing. The beans are simmering. Keep cooking. I'm going to turn that up a little bit. Okay, so we're back to ginger, one of my favorite things because we're always talking about peeling it now. So let me show you how I'm going to do it. You can use the tip of a spoon. I'm also into using, you can use the tip of the spoon to peel it. I'm also into using the end of my measuring spoon. It gives me a lot of like leverage. I can hold it like this and pull. Can you guys see this? I'm pulling and it's just going to pull the skin back with it, right? So you get to keep a lot of the flesh, but it's pulling off the skin, which doesn't taste very good. I'll put that right into my compost. Keep pulling. You can use a grater to peel it. You can use a sharp knife, a small sharp knife. Just be careful and watch your fingers. This is never perfect because of all the ridges. It doesn't matter. Okay. Look at that. Okay, let me give this a quick stir while I'm showing off the ginger. Gorgeous. It smells amazing. Okay, I'm going to just cut off the tip of that peel right there. Nothing pretty about that in the sides. Okay, now I can put this on my grater, like I said, or per Roberta's instruction in our wellness workshop, she just likes to dice it and keep all the fiber in. Can you guys see? If I come up like that, can you see the little hairs coming off of it? You can. That's just all fibrous, right? So if you were to eat this right now, you would get like the juice in the meat and you'd be left with this fibrous material. We're just going to chop it really finely. So hopefully we digest it. Okay, I've got a little bit of a brown spot in this pan back here. It's not enough for me to worry about yet, but here's what I'm going to do. If it starts to look too dark, I'm going to take a tiny bit of chicken stock. Actually, I'll do it right now just to show you. It's dark right there. Liquid and scrape. Cold liquid works best. Or room temp. Scrape, scrape, scrape. That gets all the yummy sugars off the bottom of the pan without them burning and without you having to like throw it out, you know? Okay, let's give this ginger a quick chop. And we're gonna see what we think. I have a feeling I like it better when I grate it. No offense to the ginger. It's just what I'm used to. You can also juice it and just put in a couple of drops. I mean, it's so potent that way. I'm going to juice some ginger later. In it goes, okay? It looks like garlic. Okay. Stir it. And then I'm going to add my green curry paste instead of my red curry paste. Whoopsie. It's all good though, right? If you like green curry, let me rinse this spoon before I use it. Calls for a tablespoon. I'm going for it, friends. And now I'm just going to do like I do with tomato paste. You just want to stir it so it gets incorporated with everything else. I just lost a carrot. Carrot overboard. So you're kind of cooking the paste a little bit. It's got lime, kaffir lime leaves, lemongrass, ginger, garlic, green pepper, which I think they mean generically like a green chili. You guys, I'm a mess today. Nothing new there. Okay, it's well coated in it. So I'm going to let that hang out for just a minute. And then I'm going to add my coconut milk, fish stock, and the stock, most importantly, or fish sauce, I should say. Okay, I'm going to start with a little bit of the chicken stock. Now, this is so concentrated that I'm going to add some water as well because this really is like liquid gold. And I want to use some of this stock in a different recipe, okay? Bring this up. I'm going to use about 2 cups of the stock, and I'm going to save the rest for something else. Whether I drink it on its own with some apple cider vinegar and lemon juice for my health. Now I'm just going to add some water to dilute it because whoa, it's still so golden, it's crazy. Okay, let's bring that to a simmer, and then I'm going to add the coconut milk. And the lime juice. How much lime juice do I call for? Let's see. I call for, oh, I do the fish sauce and the coconut milk first, and then I do the lime juice at the end. That's right. Okay. So a tablespoon of fish sauce. I'm just going to eyeball it over here before I put it into the pan. Sometimes I forget. It's very salty. It's what gives it so much depth of flavor. Yummy. Fish sauce is in so many things that you probably aren't aware of, which makes it kind of fun and mysterious. Okay, here's my coconut milk. I'm going to just pour in the top part first, which is really the bottom, the water. And then can you see how thick this is? Crazy, right? So we're going to have to kind of just like, you can whisk it, or you can just kind of give it a minute to soften and dissolve. Let's just kind of start to stir. It's going to break itself up as it heats. You guys, this is so me. Yeah, the chicken stock is so good with just a couple other things. Like I said, I use it for like bone broth to drink in the mornings too, with the apple cider vinegar and the lemon. It's delish. It's a great base for other healthy ingredients. Okay, let's put that over there. I'm just gonna get my, you guys, am I a klutz or what? It's hilarious. Now, while I break up the coconut milk in this, just gonna move my dishes over here a little bit. Anything I'm not using, I'm getting out of the way. And literally wiping all of this onto my floor, which I will sweep and then just give a quick mop afterwards. Sometimes it's just easier, you know? I'm sure you guys feel me. It's just hilarious, you can see it. Okay, let's keep stirring. And now the thing is, because I haven't ever used the green curry paste in this recipe, I don't know how intense it is, right? So we're going to find out when I taste at the end, and then I'll decide if I want to start adding more at the beginning of this recipe. I'm going to add the lime juice now because we're not going to simmer for very long. In you go. I did juice my limes right before this. Easy peasy. And then I'm going to get my chicken ready, which this is the chicken that I peeled off the bones last night when I made the chicken stock. And as soon as this comes to a simmer, I'm going to add the spinach. And let's see how much I add, just for kicks, because I want to see how much it cooks down. I'm going to do a different measurement. I'm going to pack this in, all right? So this is a 1.5 cup measuring cup. So we're going to use that to really pack it in when I add it. Just put this lid on for a second to kind of bring it to a simmer. I think you're going to like the color better when you use the red curry paste. I'm sure the flavors are still going to be great here. I'm just shredding the chicken into a little bit smaller pieces with my hand. You could certainly run a knife through it or cube it if you want it to be more uniform that way. I'm not very picky. You could describe my techniques as rustic. Yes, it is. It's Thai kitchen. KQ, you can get it at Whole Foods. You can get it at Trader Joe's, I believe. Safeway. They have it all over. It's non-GMO, which I like, reminding us that it's not covered in pesticides. Plus, again, for 2 cups shredded chicken, I'll probably add a little bit more than that because I can. There we go. I hear it. I hear it simmering. It smells incredible. I'm gonna start to add, let's see, if I push in 1.5 cups. Yeah, that's like a big handful. So I'm probably gonna add more like 6 cups of spinach. And it looks like a lot for about 2 minutes, folks. And then it's not a lot. Watch this. Boom. My next version of this, I'm going to write, just cover the entire thing in spinach. Reduce it to simmer. Press it down. And watch how quickly it gets absorbed. I'm going to go for 1 more handful because I love it. Boop. And it tastes so good in this recipe. Oh, I'm so glad. Hey, Q. Oh, good. It's at Target as well. Target's expanded their groceries so much, haven't they? This is going to be gorgeous. It's more like a winter looking vibe with the all the green. And then look at this. I'm going to add all of this yummy chicken. Now, if you give it a little time to simmer and let the flavors come together, you'll get more of a depth of flavor. But I love showing you guys how quickly this soup comes together in real life. You know, this was about 25 minutes with very little prep done in the beginning. I just gathered my ingredients. Probably more like 15 to 20 once I looked at what time we started really cooking it. Off you go, crumbs. Onto my floor. Mineral oil is down there. It's so me. When other people see me cook, they're kind of shocked. Okay. I can't believe it's too sunny in this kitchen today. But don't you kind of feel that way? It's so bright and I don't even have the light on over the hood. Under the hood. Okay, I'm going to give this a second. I'm going to listen for it to come up to a simmer. And then I'm going to check on these black beans, which I'll move the camera for. Let's just do that, shall we? Okay, cool. Let me get a spoon. And I have a feeling these are not done because I just started simmering them about an hour ago. So if they were done, I'd be shocked. How is it that this house never has any spoons? It's like the ultimate conundrum around here. Where did they all go? Clearly, they walked away in lunch boxes and other things. I'm going to just do this. I'm going to check the beans. And I'm looking also, wow, they might actually, these cooked a lot faster than the last type of bean I bought. I'll show you guys. They're pretty. Oh my gosh, they might be done. And then the trick to this is to seasoning them with salt at the end. Salt can toughen up beans. Let me try them one more time. It's just so bizarre. You know, it just shows you everything is different. Every bean is different. Every grain of rice you cook, right? It depends on so many factors, like how long they've been sitting, where they grew. They need a few more minutes. They probably need, in all honesty, 20 to 30 more minutes. They're just a lot more cooked than I expected, which is thrilling. Okay, back to the main event. Oh my gosh, is this gorgeous or what? Oh, it smells amazing. I think I'm gonna want more fish sauce. I can already tell, but I'm gonna scoop a small portion of this into a bowl so I can just start tasting the flavors together and see what it needs. Just a different rendition. Woo! Beautiful. And all the spinach in it is so vibrant. For lack of a better word, it's my favorite word to describe so much of what we do here. It's gonna steam up the camera, isn't it? Okay, let's taste it. This broth is so flavorful. I'm gonna take it all back. It's absolutely delicious as it is. And I put that lime juice in a little bit before I tell you to in the recipe. It's fantastic. You guys, I think this is my favorite soup recipe of all time, officially, because look how fast it comes together. It's so versatile in that if you have coconut milk, great. If you don't worry about it. If you want to use homemade vegetable or chicken stock to highlight those flavors, you can. If you just have something boxed, that's fine as well. You can bulk it up with different vegetables. I am in love with this recipe. You could use a different green. If you don't like greens in your soup, you don't have to worry about it, but you could use chard, you could use kale, you could use spinach. Any of them would work, and it is absolutely stunning. I'm going to have to bring this towards the camera because I want everybody to see how beautiful it looks in the big green pot too. Can you see that? I mean, you can take it directly to the table or wherever you're serving it. Oh, it doesn't need anything else. It doesn't need big garnishes. You can serve it with lime juice on the side, but let me bring it down. I'm going to bring the camera down so we can talk and have a conversation again. Okay. All right. Let me scoot this back a little bit. It is so yummy. I agree, Deb. I say we congratulate ourselves. It is so yummy, and it is so simple. The other reason I wanted to add more spinach is I wanted to show you all that when you alter how much of each ingredient you use, when you get the flavor of the base right, you guys, you can like bulk up or down to add as many or as few vegetables as you like. I need to just do this, don't I? There we go. There we go, right? So this is really hearty in terms of like how much I have of everything else in comparison to the broth. But if you prefer more broth, that's fine. Bringing up the camera again. It is delicious, absolutely delicious. I have to let it cool a little bit before I can continue to eat it. But any questions on this one? I can't believe how quickly class is going because it's truly that simple. And sometimes I think if I make it completely from scratch, we're gonna be standing around, but this is exactly the type of recipe that I'm so happy to make in this new cookbook. I have so many other great soups in here. This creamy tomato mint soup. You can use basil if you don't like mint, but oh my gosh, the mint's amazing. I have French onion mushroom soup that calls for 3.5 pounds of yellow onions thinly sliced. So if you are not a fan of slicing onions, I would totally recommend using that OXO tool, or if you have a food processor that will slice them for you, that's when you want to bring them out, right? But that recipe is fast and delicious. And when you cook that many onions at once, it's like they pile on each other and it makes it easier to cook them and they cook really quickly. I have the best meaty chili. The tortilla soup is amazing. And again, that is a winner when you just have homemade chicken stock or veggie stock. I have the vegetarian black bean and chili, and then a minestrone with meatballs, which is something I always end up making. Are those all the soups? I think so. Yeah, I have quite a few, and I'm just going to keep cooking my way through them. They're so satisfying. So in terms of the black bean chili, I was talking about how you can just serve it and you can reduce the liquid in the pan. Once they're cooked, you can reduce that liquid as much or as little as you like. So if you want them to be more like beans that you use in a different recipe, just keep reducing that liquid until you reach the consistency that you like. You can also strain the beans out and leave that liquid for something else. Like you could use it for a base for a different soup. You could saute other ingredients you like and put it in that. That would be delicious as well. You can also, if you have a stick blender or a blender, like I mentioned, you can let them cool a little bit and then you can use the stick blender in the pan to puree them. And you don't have to puree all of them, but it just gives it kind of like this smoother flavor. And then you get a couple chunky, you get chunky parts from the beans, not smoother flavor, smoother texture, right? So they're so versatile. And if you truly want to serve it like a black bean chili and you reduce it and you get it to the thickness of chili, you can, serve it in a bowl and put anything on top of it that you like. Obviously, Mexican crema or sour cream would be delicious. Sliced radishes, sliced red onion, cilantro on top, all of those things, right? Power greens, such an easy one to do. Power greens are great. Just buy them in a big container like I did with the spinach and throw them in, right? So great. Okay, I'm gonna try some more. I'm obsessed. It's official. I am obsessed with this soup. Mmm. So easy and so good for us. Mmm. I'm gonna have to make this in Bali. Mmm. We're making this. You guys, it's such a treat to hang out with you. Thank you. And for those of you who are in the wellness workshop too, thank you for spending more time with me doing something repetitive today with these soups. I know that we've been talking about these in the workshop as well. But these are classics that you can go back to over and over and over again, okay? So I'll try to remember to post a picture of the black bean soup when I'm done today. What I'm going to do with this batch is puree half of it, like I said, so I can serve it more like a chili. And I'll put it in a bowl and show you with some toppings on it so you can see it in all of its splendor, okay? Any other questions? Oh, that is so great, Deb. Yay, yay, yay. Thank you, you guys. Thanks for all of your support and your love. And I hope you continue to be inspired by this. If you don't know already, we sent everyone an email saying we lowered the price of House of Haas to $9.99 a month for the VIP level for everything to make it simple and hopefully encourage people to stick around for as long as they'd like. I do not like things to be cost prohibitive. And no matter what is happening with my new business that I'll be launching in San Francisco, House of Haas is here to stay. I will always be streaming classes, and it brings me so much joy to be able to cook with so many of you from around the country and sometimes around the world a couple times a month, okay? So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Deb, you're a sweetheart. I really appreciate it. Everybody have a terrific day, and I'll see you back here